Okay, benefits of effective communication. Methods of communication, limitation of the communication, use of IT in the communication. Yes, benefits of effective communication. Okay, so we have done with that. That if maybe we are communicating effectively. So, what does it mean, effective communication? Where the feedback is involved and there's two-way communication, you can say. Uh, and whatever the purpose of the communication is, it is being fulfilled. So it means that this is known as the effective communication. So in the last lecture we have seen that what are the benefits of effective communication within an organization. Now we are going to see, like, if there is ineffective communication, so what will happen. It means that what are the problems we have to face. So first of all, let's see what is the definition of the ineffective communication. So as you can see, like, this is a definition that ineffective communication occurs if communication is not received or understood properly. It means that you are communicating with another person. It could be your employee or a customer or maybe it's a manager, and you are communicating with the other person, but he didn't receive, let's say, the message, or maybe he didn't understand the message properly. So it means this is known as an ineffective communication method. Now, this ineffective communication could occur because of the, you can say that the method which you choose to communicate, maybe that's written method, or maybe you can say verbal method. So, or maybe you are just doing the one way communication where you're not asking for from the other person that whether he understood or not the message or whatever. Or maybe if you haven't selected the best method to communicate, so in these conditions your communication will be ineffective. It will be like, you can say that there is no use of this kind of communication. So if there is ineffective communication, so this may reduce business efficiency and increase the mistakes or wastage, because the employees, they will not be able to understand the message fully, and they will not be able to act it upon, and that is how you can say that they will make more mistakes, and these mistakes will lead to the wastage of time and resources, and that's how the business will be less efficient. That will be the main disadvantage of ineffective communication method. Ineffective communication may also confuse customers or stop them receiving a message. Yeah, because if uh let's say that you are communicating with your customers with the help of advertisements or whatever, with the help of email, and your communication is not effective, your customers are not able to understand properly what you want to communicate with them. So what does it mean? It means that when the customers will not be or fail to understand the message of the company, so it will affect their loyalty. So this can negatively impact a business area and profitability, of course. And many businesses invest heavily in trying to improve the communication in and outside of the business to experience all of the benefits that good communication provides. For example, more motivated employees. So it means that, of course, when there will be ineffective communication, so you will not be having the motivated employees. And the reason behind that, because the customers, sorry, the employees are not able to understand, they will make more mistakes, they will be less motivated, they feel that they are unheard for the company. So these problems will arise. So we are going to see what will be the effects of the poor communication. So first of all, there will be less motivated employees and the cost will increase. So let's see, if workers feel less informed about their role or task, they may feel less motivated. Yeah. For example, if your boss is not, you can say that, communicating with you properly, so it means that you will feel that you are not, maybe the company is not informing you about the decisions, is not informing you about the different matters, and it means that you will feel that you are less informed, and this will B, this will leads to less motivated workforce. And this can cause a decrease in productivity and lack of morale. In the long term, absenteeism and the labor turnover may increase. So, this is the proper analysis. This is the proper analysis of the poor communication method. And it will increase cost. How? Because delayed projects. Because when the employees are not able to understand your projects will be delayed, increasing defects and a lack of cooperation amongst the staff are all examples of factors that can cause rising costs for a business. So, ineffective communication can have a significant impact on the cost, lowering profits and affecting the overall business performance. And then it leads to the inefficiency. So, if the messages are delayed or not sent to the right receiver, it means to the right person you haven't communicated with. So, decisions making and process will slow down because the right message is not reaching towards the right person. And this can lead to a rise in cost and potentially missed opportunities for the business. For example, a business may be too late to secure a deal with a new supplier due to the poor communication. And also, this leads to inaccuracy. How? Because there will be inaccurate information from the sender, it can lead to mistakes being made, such as products of a poor quality or a compromise to the customer safety. So, for example, miscommunication between the colleagues may lead to some safety checks for a new toy being missed or rushed. So, what does it mean that at the end your customer will be receiving the you can say that the wrong toy, or maybe the toy which may be harmful for them because they don't know about the safety checks. So that's why it leads to the bad reputation in the market of the business. So first of all, how we can overcome these barriers? Like, because of different barriers, the communication is less effective. So first of all, you should know that how many barriers there are, and then we will see that how we can overcome those barriers. So one by one, we are going to see the barriers of the communication. So the first barrier will be the hierarchical and the structural barriers. So what does it mean? Basically, employees they may feel hesitant to communicate with their superiors due to the fear of replication or a perceived lack of accessibility, because you know that the seniors are also always less accessible because they have to you can say that manage the other tasks, so they don't have a lot of time to communicate with their employees. So that's why sometimes the employees they always feel hesitant whenever they want to communicate with their superiors, with their you can say that managers or whatever. So this can impede the free flow of information and ideas within the business. Even though if maybe the employees wants to share a very good ideas with the directors or with the managers, but they will not be able to do that because they feel you can say that hesitance. So there may be too many layers in the hierarchy, meaning messages takes a long time to get from the sender to the receiver. It means like if there's a very long hierarchy, a very long, we can say chain of control, chain of command, where one person is sending message to another, then the second person is sending message to another, then another, then another. So like it is like very long chain of command needs to follow by the employee, and that leads to the limit, you can say that on the ideas which they may want to share with the authorities, but since the message is taking very long time to reach towards the right person, the top management, so because of that there are many ideas which will never be implemented in the business. So this is one of the barrier. And Rija, if you don't understand any point, so you can ask, so I'll explain it again, okay?
Okay.
And okay. And the next barrier is the language and the jargon. Jargon means like the way of, you can say, the talk. For example, if you see that there are different like we can speak English very good, like we are fluent in the English, but the people who are living in the US and UK, they know some of the words which maybe there, you can say that, because since they are native speaker. So that's why there are different words and there are different slangs, you can say, that they use to express different feelings, but we don't know about it because we sitting at sitting in the Pakistan, or maybe like you can say like, I don't know like where you are living right now, maybe Dubai or Saudi or Kuwait, I don't know. So wherever you are living right now, but since of course the English language is not the you can say that the cultural language of your country, and not even of my country as well. So that's why we don't know about the jargons, we don't know about the slangs of their culture. So that's why there will be some time language and jargon difference. So these difference will be there when maybe you are expanded into the international markets. Because for example, if there's a firm in a Pakistan and they have expanded till US, UK, China, etc. So of course, their people will not be able to understand the Chinese language and other, and that's why the language and the jargon difference will be there. It means that even if you may be hired maybe a manager who speak let's say Chinese language, so or maybe English language, so he will also not be able to understand, you can say, he will not be able to communicate well with the people who are like from Pakistan or maybe from India or maybe from other countries. So that's the problem. Use of technical terminology or industry specific jargons can be misunderstood. So, industry or business specific acronyms can confuse new staff, because new staff, there's always, you can say that different vocabulary words which we could use for the specific industry. If you see like the in the medical, there are different kind of terms we don't know about it, and in different hospitals they have their own, you can say, language. They use their own slangs and they use their own words which we don't know about it. So whenever there's a new staff, and since you as a manager, you can say that used to speak in those industry specific jargons, so it means that now for the new staff, since they are new, so they will take some time to adopt. So that's why they will not be able to understand your language. And staff in businesses that operates across international borders may speak different languages, as I already told you about this. So that's also one barrier. And then the noise and distractions. Loud machinery, sorry, or a crowded space can interfere with the effective communication. For example, if there are different laborers working in the production department where they are running a lot of machineries, so now if the manager will be conducting the meeting there, or maybe the manager is trying to send some message to the employee, to the laborers who are working in the production department, so that will be really difficult for them to understand. Why? Because they are working in the loud machinery and they're very proper crowded workspace. So might be you can say that it's possible that they will not be able to understand what the manager actually wants to convey. So that's the problem. So it means that the noise, distractions, these are also the barriers. Distractions including mobile phone notifications and email alerts can divert the attention. It means that if maybe you know that whenever in different organizations, whenever they used to conduct the meetings, so they always tell that okay, every person should just silent their mobile phone. And what is the reason behind that? Because of course everyone's mobile will be getting a lot of notification, so it sometimes, you can say, distract you towards like, you will be like maybe quickly checking your mobile phone that who is texting you or what. So that's a basically problem. So noise and distraction is also one of the problem. Then lack of feedback. Of course, when there is no feedback, there is no effective communication. So absence of feedback can affect the understanding and lead to misunderstandings, because where there is no feedback, this is known as the one-way communication, where you are just communicating, you are conveying your message, and you are not expecting from them to give feedback about it, and you're not even asking for. So that's the problem, and it leads to the misunderstanding. So messages may require urgent clarification or correction to avoid the mistakes being made. Now the cultural differences. So cultural norms and expectations can affect the communication style. Yeah, like if you have the cultural differences, of course you have a different culture norms, you have own way of communication, so it also leads to the misunderstanding for the other person who is not from your culture. And then the lack of time. So busy work schedules and the competing priorities can limit the time available for the communication. So that's also the problem. And the last one is technological barriers. Technological issues such as poor internet connection, malfunctioning equipment, or unfamiliarity with the platforms can slow communication. It means that maybe your employees are using some kind of, you can say, that portal to speak with the other clients or with the other, you can say, managers. So if they are unfamiliar with those platforms, if maybe they are using equipment which maybe have a kind of virus in that, there is different problems with the internet connection. So in these conditions, whatever the tools you are using to communicate with someone, with these technical tools, so this technical issues will cause the technological barriers. So these are the barriers. Now you need to read from here: problems of an effective communication, and this one, barriers to communication. And after some time I'll ask questions. So Rija, I'm just going to the washroom, I'm just coming back. So till then, please read it. So I think I have sent this document already to you in the group, so you can check from there.
You didn't send this one.
I didn't send it.
No,
One second, then send, let me send it to you. Okay, so this is 4.2 now. Is this 4.2 or 2.2?
it's 2.2.
Okay, 2.2. And this is Edexcel, or let me write the 4BS only. Yes, it's coming.
Yeah, I got it.
Okay, I'm just coming back in few minutes.
Okay.
Yes, Riza, I just came back. So done with the revision or not?
Almost.
Okay.
I'm done.
Okay. So my first question is that what is the definition of the ineffective communication?
It occurs when communication isn't received properly or understood.
Mm.
It
And
can
yeah, and then what are the problems of the ineffective communication?
uh, it can lead to less motivated employees
Mm-hmm.
because they may feel misinformed about their tasks and feel
Mm-hmm.
less motivated.
Mm-hmm.
It can be inefficient if the messages are delayed or if they were sent to the wrong person.
Mm-hmm.
It can slow down decision making and processes.
Mm-hmm.
It can be inaccurate, and inaccurate information can lead to more mistakes, which can increase costs.
Mm-hmm. And the barriers of effective communication is how many barriers, and elaborate those barriers as well.
There's language and jargon, so the use of technical terms.
Mm,
can often be misunderstood,
mm,
and people might speak different languages and misinterpret the message. Then
yeah.
some distractions, so phone calls or email alerts, and a crowded workspace can interfere with proper communication. Then
Mm,
the lack of feedback can affect understanding,
mm,
and
yeah.
certain messages could require urgent clarification.
Yes.
Then technological barriers, so technical issues like internet connectivity issues
Mm,
can slow down communication. Then time, so if a work schedule is busy, they may not have time to communicate effectively.
mm,
And cultural differences, so uh, different cultural expectations can affect communication styles.
mm. Okay. So now let's see that there are problems, there are barriers, but how we can improve. Like how many you can say that ways there are that we can improve the communication. So the business they can use a variety of strategies to try to improve the communication methods internally and externally. So barriers causing ineffective communication may need to be removed, and organizations should encourage open communication, consider providing the training on effective communication techniques, and encourage a culture of transparency and collaboration to overcome these obstacles. So it means that we should encourage open communication. We should ask from the employees that whatever the ideas they have, they can share with us, and we should provide them different trainings that how they can you can say that use different communication techniques for the effective communication. And we should also promote the collaboration between the teams so that they can share ideas and communicate with the other team members effectively. So many business put strategies in place to encourage good communication before any problem arise, and a good long-term investment may be a subscription to a communication app such as Slack that allows employees to interact with each other. So that's like one application, Slack, the this app the employees can install, and it's you can say it available by the company, and the employees can interact with each other with the help of Slack. So there are the ways which we are going to see like to remove this ineffective communication. So the first barrier that was hierarchical, we have seen that how we can remove it, how we can reduce it. So we should encourage the two-way feedback. Whenever there is a hierarchical problem, there's a very long chain of command where the employees are taking so much time to convey their message to the required person, since there's a very long chain between, or you can say that between them and between the required person. So here what we should do is we should encourage a two-way feedback so employees feel comfortable talking to various employees regardless of their position in the organization. For example, regular one-to-one meetings with line managers. And then when we of course when there will be regular one-to-one meetings, so it means that the employees will not feel hesitant to talk with the line managers. Then language and the jargon. So use of the jargon or terms which are too technical should be minimized, and agreed upon language for key communication is implemented, that whatever the language is understandable for everyone, so the company should promote that language only. And the third barrier was the noise and the distractions. So in that case, company should use communication methods that are relevant to the workplace, and like set up a room on the factory floor in which the conversations can be had, and limit the distractions such as a pop-up messages and unnecessary emails. So like with the help of this we can somehow overcome this noise and distractions problem. And then lack of feedback was also one of the barriers, so how we can minimize it. So where appropriate, select methods that allow for the feedback. encourage an open culture where employees are confident in giving feedback. Once again. Okay. Yeah, so then the cultural differences. So build a culture of teamwork and respect amongst the employees. So include the cultural awareness in training and in development programs. So it's too simple. Like you should build the culture of teamwork, that every employee should be working in the teamwork and they should respect each other. So it means that when with the help of this, the cultural differences will removed, and the employees will be able to talk to each other effectively. Then the lack of time was also one of the barriers. So how we can remove it or minimize it? So we should schedule the meetings in the shared calendars, that everyone then should try to, you can say that, free at that particular time where everyone should be there in the meetings. Amend workloads to ensure effective communication can take place. It means that we should reduce the workloads on the employees so that they can take a time to communicate effectively. Then the technological barriers. So we should invest in the good quality ICT systems, because technological barriers means that there's something wrong with the devices and the software which you are using to communicate. So we should invest in the good quality ICT systems and conduct the regular updates and maintenance to avoid the slow or poor quality connections. Providing training for employees who need it, so that they should know that how we can use different softwares to talk with the other employees. So if there is any training required, so you should train how, for example, how to use a new communication app and send instant messages to the other employees. So these like ways we can use to reduce the barriers of communication. Okay, Rija, currently, like, how many subjects you have, business, and what are other subjects you have? You're going to appear, like, for which you're going to appear in the May June session.
Business, computer science, French, math, physics, biology, chemistry, English language, and English literature.
But why business? Why bio and physics and chemistry? Because business is commerce subject, no?
No, they were all mandatory for us.
Okay, so like here in our country, if you want to join the commerce background, so you need to take only three subjects like business, economics, and accounts.
Yeah, that's next year. For this year, we have to take eight.
Eight?
Yeah,
Eight subjects. Why? But like in A levels, I think the minimum subjects you should take, that is only three.
yeah, for A levels. But right now, for GCSE, we have to take eight.
So it means that after giving this paper, like in May, June 2026, like in this, after a few months, so you will not free from the GCSE.
No, this will be the GCSE exam in May, June.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, na, that in May, June 2026, you will be free from all papers, na, like
Yeah,
chemistry and every paper. So after
yeah,
that, of course, then in June or maybe like in July, so your next college will start for the A levels.
yeah,
Yeah, so in the college in A levels, I think there's a requirement of minimum three subjects.
yeah, it's three subjects.
Yeah, so you are saying that I will take eight. So that's why I was saying that no, in A levels, there is no need to take eight subjects. There's only minimum three subjects you need to take.
Yeah, for this year, I'm doing eight. Then next year, I'll do three.
Yeah, yeah. Like in this year, basically, in 2026 only,
Yeah,
because then you will be free from these papers. So then after that, your A levels will start, no? AS
yeah,
levels.
in September.
Yeah. So, like, what about the other subjects? Like, are you taking the tuitions from Lakas for the other subjects too?
For the class, I'm taking math and physics.
Math and physics and this business, three subjects.
Yeah.
And for the chemistry, physics, and bio.
I'm taking tuition outside the class.
Okay. Okay. Good. Yeah, okay. So you can read it, and then we are going to start the 2.3. Yeah. Then we are going to start at 2.3.
Okay. And then,
Okay. Yeah, so like you can discuss one by one the barriers and the ways how we can reduce it.
to reduce the structural barrier,
Mm,
um, we can encourage two-way feedback
mm,
so that employees feel included and comfortable.
mm,
In language and jargon, the use of jargon should be minimized and an
yeah.
agreed upon language is implemented. For
Mm,
noise distractions,
mm,
they can choose communication methods relevant to the workplace, such as a separate room.
okay.
In cultural differences, they can build a culture of respect amongst the employees and include cultural awareness and training.
Mm,
For lack of time, they can schedule meetings in shared calendars. And in technological barriers, they can invest in good quality ICT systems.
mm. Yes. Only these?
Yeah,
Okay. Now we are. One second. Let me first of all. I think I have sent it to you. No. One second. Let me send it to you. Okay. So we are going to see this one. That is a recruitment and selection process. We are going to see that whenever we need to, we can say that hire the employees. So how we can hire them, how we can recruit them, and what is the selection process. Okay. So first of all, we are going to see that how many employment types we have. So the businesses they can employ workers on a variety of employment contracts. First of all, maybe they could hire on the part-time basis or maybe full-time basis. So what is the meaning of part-time? It's too easy. Part-time employment is often considered to be between 1 and 30 hours a week. So if there are between 1 and 30 hours in a week, so it means that this is known as a part-time, sorry, employment. The full-time employees will usually work 35 plus hours a week. And what is the meaning of flexible working? Flexible working is a development of culture where workers are able to work in a range of employment patterns, for example, part time, temporary, or 0 hours contracts, job sharing, work from home. So these are the flexible working condition where the employees can work from home. They can share the job with the other person. They can work for the 0 hours. 0 hour means that whenever the company need, they will be calling the employees so they could work. Otherwise, whenever the company they don't need the employees, so it means that the workers still will be able to job somewhere else. So there are different flexible working types as well. So we are going to see the type of employment one by one, as you can see, and its explanation. And the examples are here as well. So first of all, the type of employment, the first is the full employment, full-time employment. So as we already know that the full-time employment means that the workers will be working for 35 plus hours in a week. So full-time employment is when an employee works the total number of hours considered by the company as full-time in a week, and full-time employees work more hours in a company than part-time employees. So this is explanation, and here we have example that, for example, under UK labor law, a full-time employee work 35 hours a week or more. And what is the meaning of part-time employment? Part time means someone who works part time may only work 2 or 3 days a week. Part time employment may be more flexible and can be adjusted subject to employee availability and employer requirements. And here we have example that part time employment as at the US company, Costco are required to work a minimum of the 24 hours to keep their employees benefits. And the job sharing is also one of the employment type. So what does it mean, job sharing? Job sharing is a process of breaking up a role into the two part-time contracts. In rare cases, the job share may occur between more than two workers. It means that more than two workers are there and they can split the work. For example, split shift job shares have two members of staff working on the same day but at different times. So worker A may work from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and worker B works from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. So it's like that as well, where one job is shared by like the same job done by the worker A. He is working from 8 a.m. to 1 p.m. and the second worker is working from 1 p.m. to 6 p.m. the same job. So they are basically sharing the job between each other, or we maybe it's just split the shift between the job. And then there is a last employment type, that is temporary and casual employment. So someone who works temporarily shows up for work whenever the business needs them, and this may be seasonal, summer or winter, or for a determined length of time. It means that if maybe there's a summer season and you want more person to pick the fruits so in the fields, so it means that you will be employing them only for the summer season. And maybe for the winter season you want some laborers to work in the fields to pick the fruits, or maybe the other kinds of vegetables or the different grains. So that's also, you can say that, for a proper season. Then we are going to talk about that. Okay, we know what is the meaning of employment and type of employment. So when the employer, they are going to recruit someone, so what is the meaning of recruitment, what is the meaning of selection, what are the stages of the recruitment process? So first of all, recruitment is the processes of attracting and identifying potential job candidates who are suitable for a particular role. Recruitment activities include the job advertising, job fairs, social media outreach, and referrals from current employees. The goal of recruitment is to create a pool of qualified candidates who can be considered for the role. It means that we will be like the laborers who are, or the employees who are capable. So they will be like sending their application, and after that, the second step will be selection. So selection is a process of choosing the best candidate. Means that we will be having the CV of a lot of people, so we can select the best candidate. So, selection activities often involve reviewing the CVs and conducting interviews or assessment tasks. And the goal of selection is to hire the most suitable candidate for the job. So, that's the part of selection. So, here we have the stages of the recruitment process. First of all, as you can see, the first stage is define. We will be defining the role, including the job description and job specification. Now, what is the difference between job specification and job description? Job description simply means that we are describing the roles and responsibilities of the worker. And job specification means that we are writing the specs of the job, that what we want in the worker, like how much experience, how much education, etc. Any specific, you can say that the qualities or the characteristics we want in the labor. So we will be writing in the job specification. So it's about defining the job role. Then the second stage of the recruitment will be source. So what we will do, we will be identify if applicants will be recruited internally or externally. Means that whether we are going to recruit these applicants from the within organization, or maybe from outside the organization. Then when we will choose that, okay, should we go with the internal external, so according to that we will advertise the job. So we will use the most of cost effective methods to reach potential candidates. For example, LinkedIn. We can use LinkedIn. LinkedIn is one of the cost effective method. We can simply post our jobs on the LinkedIn, and there will be like, you can say that multiple employees who can apply, and they will be like selecting them. Then receive applications. So we after that, of course, when we will advertise the job, so it means that we will be getting a lot of CVs. So we will collect the CVs and cover letters, make a shortlist to the interview. We will see that, okay, these are the CVs, and we will start taking interviews from each one. And after that, after taking the interviews, we will be selecting that. It may include interviews or assessment task. It maybe means that the candidates which we selected, so maybe we will be taking more interviews for them, or maybe we will be giving different assessment tasks to them. So these selection, the at the end we will be selecting the best candidate for the organization. So this is the stages. These are the stages of recruitment process. So the specific details of the recruitment process may vary slightly between businesses due to different factors. Like, it is including the urgency of the role needing to be filled. That it means that, for example, if maybe we just want a person urgently, so maybe we will define the role, and then we will select the internal method, and we will simply just pick one person, and we will be promoting him. So that's one thing which we can do. So the urgency of the role needing to be filled, the budget involved in advertising the vacancy, like whether we are able to maybe you can say that spend a lot to find to maybe on the advertisement and to find the right person for us. The nature of the role and the skills required, that what are the roles we require, what are the skills we required. So according to that we will be making different assessment tasks. Preferences of the management, for example, preference of using CVs rather than an application form, that whether we want to maybe from the applicant write the application form, or maybe send the CVs. Because application form somehow better, because in the application form we can simply ask those questions which we really need to ask. But in the CV, maybe we will be receiving the journal answers, which might not be you can say that appropriate answers which we are looking for. So that's why application form somehow it's best for to use as you can say to select the best candidate for your organization. And the time available for the process to occur, for example, Google's recruitment process usually takes 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah. So now it depends that how much time we have, how much time available to recruit. You can say that and how much time we will take. So as you can see, like they just gave the example of Google, that they used to take 6 to 8 weeks. Yeah, so it's like that. Okay. After that, we have the next topic, that is comparing the recruitment documents. So as I already told you that these documents will be there. First of all, person specification. This is a document that captures the essentials and desired characteristics of an ideal candidate. Like we will be writing what experience we want, what qualification we want, what extra skills we want. Job description, where this is a document where we will write the duties. We will list the duties, that which duties the upcoming employee has to fulfill. And then the CV is a document that contains the application applicant's educational and work experience history. And then the application form. So this is a customized document by the business that all applicants have to answer. The customization makes it easier to compare the candidates. So these are like, you can say, we will be using all these documents in recruitment. So one by one, they have talked about that what is the meaning of job description and person specification. As you can see, we have example. In the person specification, there are qualifications, experience, skills, or such as ability to drive or yeah, IT capabilities and personal characteristics, everything. And then in the job description, we need to write the duties, how many hours we want a person to work, what will be the responsibility, what will be his authority, what will be his designation, how much pay we will give them, and what are the conditions to work. So all these things we will be writing in the job description. And in the application form and the CV, there's a what is the difference. So as I already told you that in the application form we will be writing our own questions, like we just want them to write their names, contact details, qualifications, work experience, positions of the responsibility, interest, or maybe we can ask them some personal question as well, which maybe you can say that important for us. So, but in the CV, the same information which you will be asking for them to write in the application form, so the same information will be there. But yeah, if you want to ask some specific question before selection, so this will not be possible in term of like in the condition where we are using CV. But yeah, if you are asking them to you can say that fill up the application form, so you could ask whatever you want. So that's somehow the freedom for you to ask anything whatever you want. So that's the one advantage of the application form. Yeah. So if we are using the application form, so all applicants provide the identical information in the same format, so they are easy to compare. Other than like the CV, they have their own format, so you will be receiving the different CV with the different formats. So that's why sometimes it will be difficult for you to compare. But if you are using the CV, so the benefit of CV is that more applicants may apply because it is easier for candidates to prepare and adopt a standard CV. Yeah, so that's the benefit. The drawback will be limited information can be expressed by candidates, so key desirable attribute may not be identified. Maybe the person is not able to write a lot whatever he wants to convey, so that will be a drawback in the application form. But in the CV, we can say that there's a proper format which the person can write at their home, and then after that they can send it to you. So that's why they can maybe provide more information regarding their work experiences. But if you use CV, so what will be the drawbacks of this? So comparing different formats and content of the CV can take more time and lengthen the requirement process. Yeah, because the CV, as I told you, that the each applicants will be providing a different you can say that the format of the CV. So checking all the CVs and understanding the formats is a little bit difficult, and it will be like you can say that a time consuming thing. So it means that the recruitment process will be slowed down. So yeah, that's a drawback. Yeah, so this topic we will do after that. So first of all, please read this from the start, and after that I'll ask the questions. So read from here. Yeah. Reja, have you completed, done with the reading or not?
Yeah, nearly. Yeah, I'm done.
Okay. Uh, okay. So the first question is, what is the difference between part-time and full-time employment?
And part-time employment is between 1 and 30 hours per week, and full-time employment is 35 plus hours a week.
Mm. And define the job sharing.
It's the process of breaking up one role into two part-time contracts.
Mm. Okay. And how many? What is the difference between? One second. Yeah. What is the meaning of recruitment?
And the process of identifying potential job candidates.
Okay. And how many stages are there in the recruitment?
Five, so there's define, source, advertise, receiving the applications, and then the selection.
There's receiving application and
Selection.
selection. Okay. And um okay, then yeah. Define the each document which we use in recruitment means job specification, description, and CV and application form.
Specification is the document that has the essential and desired characteristics of the candidate. Job description lists the duties and responsibilities of the employee. An
Mm,
application form is a customized document that applicants have to fill in so that
mm,
it's easier to compare candidates.
mm,
And the CV contains their education and work experience history.
mm. Okay. And what will be the advantages of each document?
The advantage is that each candidate will provide identical information in the same format, so it's more comparable for application forms. And for CVs, a benefit is that more applicants can apply because it's easier for them to prepare and adapt a standard CV.
Hmm. Okay. Now, the next topic which we are going to see, that is internal and external equipment, and we already have seen what is the meaning of that internal and external. But let's see its definition properly. So, internal equipment is the appointment of a suitable candidate who already works for the business. Like they are already working in a business, and you are just you can say that promoting them. And the external equipment is where a new employee is appointed from outside the business. So he is basically external recruiter who is like coming outside the business. Businesses often use a combination of internal and external equipment methods depending on the nature of the job and availability of the suitable candidates. And the method chosen will also depend on the organization's goal, the level of position being filled, and the industry in which it operates. So it means that the method which we are going to choose, that whether we should choose external equipment method or internal equipment method, so it depends upon the organization goal. For example, if the organization wants to motivate the workers, so they will most likely choose the internal equipment. So that's why like they will be able to you can say that motivate the employees by giving them promotions. And the level of position, like what is the level of position they want to give, like if maybe the right person is available in the business, so it means that they can of course give them a chance to get promoted. So we can use, so internal recruitment, it's too easy. We will be simply like choosing one person from the business and we don't need to advertise. But for the external recruitment we need to advertise. One second. For the external recruitment we need to advertise. So let's see how we will be advertising the vacancy. So after producing the job description, means listing all the duties and responsibilities and person specification, when vacancy arises, the business can advertise the role internally, externally, or a combination of both. In order to advertise a vacancy, the business must produce a job advertisement. That includes brief details of job and characteristics of the desired application, means that we will be specifying the job description and job specification, and we will also write it how they can apply for the job. So here we have the example of the job adverts, as you can see. So this is also job advertisement, this one, and this one. So as you can see, like they already wrote that what you need to do, what is the name of the business, and for how, as you can see that working as a successful fashion model is not easy, but it is very exciting and could be great opportunity. Girls should be over 16 with a minimum of height of 72 centimeter. So as you can see that they are writing every specification which they want in their candidate. So this is how you need to write the job adverts. So you can advertise vacancy internally, externally. Means that if you are of course going to hire the employee internally, so you use the external advertisement, and if you're going to hire the employee internally, so you will use the internal advertisement. So if the business is seeking an internal candidate, so business newsletters, staff notice boards, or internal emails can be used to display job advertisements. So it means that you will be like simply sending mails to everyone, or through the newsletters you will be like um, showing that this vacancy is available, or maybe you can use notice board. On the notice board you can also write that we need this person, this vacancy, this position is vacant, so everyone can apply. So line managers may be asked to recommend suitable candidates following appraisals. It means that the line managers who like, we can say that who are main managers, so the business will be asking them to recommend a suitable candidates. So for a new project management role in the organization may be advertised in the weekly staff newsletter. And so this is how they will be like selecting the person. Recruiting internally may mean workers do not need induction training and are highly productive relatively quickly. A further vacancy is created one when a worker moves into their new role. Yeah, it means that the same worker, of course, since the same worker is going to play the another role, so it means that he will be leaving the current vacancy. So the next vacancy will be available for the other person to, you can say, to work on. So, and plus, if we will recruit someone internally, so we don't need to give them induction training where we need to make them understand about the business culture and business, we can say that responsibilities, roles, everything. So we don't need to do that. Whereas if you talk about the advertising externally, so external candidates, if you are like recruiting external candidates, so external candidates can be targeted with the advertisements in newspapers, industry magazines, specialist recruitment websites, agencies, and government-run agencies. So you can use all these options available. Exciting employees may be asked to nominate people they know for roles. Sometimes they receive a reward for the nominees and successfully recruited. It means that like the existing employees, like the workers who are working with you, you will be asking them to nominate some people which they may know. So it means that of course if they know someone, so that might be a trusted person, so you can easily ask them to you can say nominate someone, the person which may be like their friends or maybe their family members, so they can easily nominate them. And this is one more way that you can recruit them. Businesses with a strong social media presence can use these platforms to advertise cost effectively. For example, TikTok. Yeah. Like on TikTok, you can easily you can say that on the TikTok you can easily advertise. For example, if you are already well known on TikTok, so with the help of TikTok you can easily advertise that which position is vacant, and what kind of skills and the qualification you want in a person, so you can advertise this vacancy on the TikTok and the other applications. New skill experiences and ideas are introduced to the business. So if the new person is coming into business, so they will be like having new skills, experiences, and ideas. So they will be introducing this into the business. Some methods, such as advertising in the mass media, are expensive and it can be difficult to target the desired audience. Yeah. So that will be like the problem. So if the business needs to recruit quickly, or if it is struggling to find the right employee, so it may use a recruitment agency to carry out the advertising and recruitment process on their behalf. So this is how like they can recruit. New employees may be found quickly through a recruitment agency which has potential candidates already enrolled. So like there are different recruitment agencies are out there, and the businesses could ask them to you can say provide their CVs, and the business simply select any person from with the help of those recruitment agencies. And it can be expensive as business have to pay a fee for these services. Yeah, like the business has to pay some fee to these recruitment agencies, so that's somehow costly for the business. Then the next step will be shortlisting and interviewing candidates. So, when recruiting for the role, the business will select candidates whose qualifications, sales skills, personal qualities, and experience best match the job description and person specification. So, this is a process. First of all, we will shortlist the candidates. So, what is the meaning of shortlist? So, shortlist is a collection of or the list of the most well suited candidates for the role. So we will have a lot of CVs. So we will be, we can say, selecting 4 to 5 people or maybe more than this. So a careful comparison with the job description and the person specification is made. We will see like which person is good for the company or not. So it is a list of the candidates whose applications meet the role criteria and for whom the business would like to find out some more information about them at interview. And shortlists are essential for sorting through large volumes of applications, and candidates on the shortlist are asked to interview or to complete the assessment activities. So this is how like the shortlist candidate we will be asking them, and then we will be like asking them to come in the interview, and maybe we will provide them some assessment activities, different test, written test, or maybe like the demo sessions. So like we can maybe assess their qualities with the help of this. And after that, uh, when we will shortlist, so the interviews will be there. So what is the meaning of interview? So interviews usually include a face-to-face telephone or online discussion. Like for example, if maybe you are living far away, maybe living in the city or another country, so of course online discussion will be there between a manager and the candidate about their suitability for the role. And the set of relevant questions is used for all candidates to ensure that the interview is conducted in a fair and consistent manner. Interviews questions may focus on the skills and experience relevant to the job, that whether the person is having skills and experience according to that or not, success and failures and how these were overcome, personal interest and the experiences. Okay, and the interview process should lead to a suitable candidate being appointed. So these things will be asked. And yeah, so this is how the shortlisting and interviews will done. Okay, now we are going to see the next topic, that is a legal controls over employment. It means that in some countries there are some legal controls by the government, and as an employer you have to follow them. So let's see what are those legal controls. So what are the legal controls? Legal controls are the laws and regulations. passed by the government that require business to conduct their behavior in a particular manner. It means that the business has to abide by all those rules and regulations, which is mainly passed by the government for the employees. Many countries have passed laws and introduced regulations that affect the relationship between employers and employees and relate to aspects including the pay, like what should be the minimum pay available for different positions, hours and conditions of work, safety, discrimination, rights to paid and unpaid absence, for example holiday, dismissal. So all these for all these things there will be a proper rules and regulations set by the government. So let's see what are those you can say that legal requirements. First of all, the first thing is the equal opportunities. So equal opportunity means that all individuals should be treated equitably regardless of protected the characteristics such as gender, race, religion, and disability. It means that if you are going to select any candidate, so you should not you can say that differentiate, or you should not bias towards one gender, and regardless any race, religion, and disability, you should only look for the experience, available experience and qualifications. Many countries have introduced laws preventing the discrimination in the workplace. It means that there are different government, they introduce some laws that on the workplace you can't discriminate someone on the basis of gender, you can say that caste, creed, and color, and religion and disability. For example, France discriminated laws identify a range of protected characteristics that cannot be discriminated against, including sexual orientation, gender identity, age, pregnancy, trade union activities, and the physical appearance. It means like in the France, you can't discriminate someone on the basis of their physical appearance and their trade union activities if maybe they are the part of any trade union, or the pregnancy if they are pregnant, so maybe like you will not be allowing them to work. So these rules and regulation are there in the France, and this is one of the example of equal opportunities. Like everyone is equal, you should not discriminate someone on the basis of these things. So businesses, they must comply with the equal opportunities legislation to prevent the discrimination from occurring in the workplace. So because if they will do this kind of discrimination, so the government, it means that they are not complying with the government's rule regulation, so they have to compensate. Discrimination at work is when the employers make decisions that are based on unfair reasons. In most countries, many of these forms of discrimination are illegal. Workers who have suffered discrimination can take legal action against an employer. So, what is a main form of discrimination? A firm can discriminate on the basis of age, gender, race, religion, and disability. Maybe the firms will be giving more importance to someone who is, let's say, more young, and they maybe are giving less importance to someone who is maybe like old age and they are not able to do good work, or like, more productive work. So, what are the benefits? Like, if you will be complying with these employment rules as business, so what will be the benefits for you? So, the business which follows and encourages an equal opportunities policy, so they can help will improve its reputation. It means that you will become a good brand and you will be having a good reputation in the market. Keep employees happy and motivated. Of course, they will be happy and motivated. Prevent a serious or legal issue rising, such as bullying, harassment, and discrimination. Because of course, if you are letting your line managers to do that, so it will lead to bullying and harassment of the females specifically, and discrimination, and that will cause serious problems. And sometime when those females who have been harassed by the different line managers, so they used to complain in the police, and because of that the image of your company will destroy. Better serve a diverse range of customers. It means like if you have a lot of you can say that employees from different cultures, so since if you also like having the customer from different cultures, so those diverse workforce will be able to handle the diverse customers easily. Improve ideas and problem solving, because every mind, like each person is having a different kind of, you can say that way of thinking, the way they tackle the problems, everyone is like having their own way to tackle the problems. So if any problem will arise in the business, so since you have the multiple and diverse workforce from different cultures, from the different you can say gender, and from different ages as well, so they will be improving, like with the help of them you will be able to improve the different ideas, and they will have the problem solving approach. Attract and keep good staff, yeah, because if you are complying with these employment laws, so it means that you will be like famous within the market, that this company is really good with their employees, so this will be attracting and keep the good staff. So these are some of the laws which we are going to discuss. First of all, minimum wage law. This is one law which is, you can say, imposed by the government. So, what is the meaning of minimum wage? Minimum wage is the lowest wage permitted by law. The minimum that you have to pay, let's say, $30,000 or $10,000 to each employee. Some countries may have a very complicated minimum wage system. India has hundreds of minimum wage rates for different types of industries, geographical regions, and skill levels. It means like maybe for the teaching sector, their minimum wage is different. For the textile sector, their minimum wage is different. So in the India, like there are different, very complicated minimum wage rate. It's not like the one minimum wage rate is for everyone. No, it's different for different industry and different geographical regions and on different skills level. Other countries set a minimum hourly, weekly, or monthly wage level for all citizens. In 2022, Belgium's minimum wage rate was 1,691 pounds, and that was equal to $2,000 per month. That was a minimum wage rate in the Belgium. And in Estonia, the minimum wage is 2003 was 4.30 pound, means at $5.09 per hour. Countries including Ireland and UK set different minimum wage rates according to age. And there remain some countries without minimum wage laws. In Finland, there is no minimum wage, but all employers must pay minimum rates agreed in collective bargaining agreements. It means that whatever the agreement settled down between the employee and employer, so they have to pay according to that. And again, in the United Arab Emirates, there's again no minimum wage requirements. So, but if you are implementing, like if in your country there is minimum wage set by the government, and if you're implementing it, so what will be the impacts of that? So we are going to see the impacts for the employers separately and for the employees. So for the employers, what will happen? Wages are a large cost to a business. If there's a minimum wage set and that is really costly for the business, so the implementation of this, the minimum wage rate will increase variable cost, as all workers will need to be paid the minimum legal limit. It means that every worker will have to, like, you have to provide them that minimum wage rate, and that is how, because labor cost is a variable cost, so that will be increased. So business may increase prices to compensate for the higher cost. And if they will increase price, so most likely if the PED for this, I hope that you don't know about the PED, but yeah, like if the prices will increase, so it means that the demand for the product will decrease. Encourages employers to invest more in training and skilled workers, as they are now paying them a higher wage. Some employers will not be able to afford these wage rates, like if these are the small businesses, may cause some skilled workers who are receiving slightly more than the minimum wage rate to negotiate the higher pay. It means that if maybe any company who are providing higher than the minimum wage rate, so maybe more skilled worker will be moving toward that business. This would increase the business cost. And about the employees, what will be the impact? So it will be reduces the exploitation of workers. Without minimum wage rate, business may pay their workers very poorly. So it means that they are exploiting their workers. So there will be no exploitation. Act as an incentive to enter the workforce due to attractiveness of the higher pay. It means that if there is a minimum wage rate set which is really high, So it is a kind of attractive for the laborers, and they will be entering more into the workforce. Low paid workers will earn more and will have the higher living standards. They will be like able to enjoy good health benefits, and the different their spending will increase. Workers who are paid at or above the minimum wage are more likely to be motivated and productive, and they take less time off work. Like they will be, the labor turnover will decrease, and the absenteeism rate will also decrease. Some job losses may occur when a minimum wage rate is reduced as businesses move to cheaper capital intensive processes. It means that maybe, for example, if the minimum wage rate is very high, that the businesses are not able to pay that. So maybe the business will be installing more machineries, and they will be hiring less laborers, and that will cause job losses and unemployment will increase. It means that it is a problem for the employees. They will not be able to get the jobs. So this is the impact of uh, minimum wage. Let me just write it here. Completed 2.2 and 2.3, and the total classes which we covered 3. Okay. Okay, Rija, I'm just going to end the session.
Okay,
Allah Hafiz.
thank you.